Jack.
Pirates of the Caribbean, starring Johnny Depp as the famous Jack Sparrow, has been a widely popular franchise to most Disney fans, including myself. However, I'm not as big of a pirate fan as to what I am with the Disney animated features. That's not to say I'm against it either. Simply recapping, the first of the series, The Curse of the Black Pearl, is still the best of the lot. It carries the meaning of being a pirate from gathering spoils to debating dirty deeds, clever choreography and sword fighting, and emphasizing the belief systems to the dead and the undead. Overall, it was a lot of fun. Dead Man's Chest wasn't as good due to the same routines and having a little confusing story. But I will admit that the Kraken scenes from David Jones were pretty badass, as well as the good use of special effects. At World's End did not go very well for me. The script was hard to follow, especially when it took nearly 3 hours to sit through. And not to mention the strange running gags the movie had, like crabs and peanuts. It just felt like the writers were making things up along the way. But admittedly, the climax where the two ships on the edge of the whirlpool was fun to watch. So now we're on to the fourth installment on Stranger Tides. This one involves the search for the Fountain of Youth, which was briefly given at the end of the third installment. Unfortunately, that map that was shown again was then destroyed during the first act of the whole feature, which felt like it was a cheap plot device to transit into the third, but I digress. The movie features new characters. One of them is Angelica, played by Penelope Cruz, and she's the daughter of Blackbeard, played by Ian McShane. Barbossa, played once again by Jeffrey Rush, returns but with a wooden leg while seeking revenge to Blackbeard for not only the cost of his leg, but also the loss of the Black Pearl. Angelica is Jack Sparrow's supposed love interest, but the story behind it shows that Jack's relationship is pretty sour. But then again, what do you expect from a very manipulative pirate? Much like the previous installments, this one carries the same elements I was expecting: sword fighting, pirate accents, and treasure hunting plot schemes. As entertaining as it is, that really isn't saying much when reviewing this movie other than the new characters that were added. It's the same plot that I've seen before. However, if there's anything new or different that's added to the source material, Jack Sparrow is now portrayed as the movie's protagonist. He does what he does previously, so it's pretty awkward making him the protagonist. Another thing that's new is that pirates are quote and unquote zombified, although they really don't act like zombies at all, and there are some mermaids, but are definitely different from the others. They act pretty, but they're also used as a backstabbing attack. It's been said before that's what mermaids really do. There's a bit of a story between a Christian and a mermaid, but frankly I don't care for that bit. Now, there was something that's bothered me the most in the movie, and it's concerning the third act. Though giving too much away, yeah, Blackbeard does die, but the way he's killed is excruciatingly graphic. I don't intentionally nitpick at violent imagery in children's films or so whereabouts. In fact, I love those for making the stories convincing to the characters. But his death was way too intense to be shown for the younger viewers, and I don't see how Disney managed to get away with it. Yes, I'm aware it's rated PG-13, which is aimed at older viewers, supposedly, but still, it's technically aimed at kids. This isn't the first time this happened, though. The Black Cauldron had a similar problem. Note to Disney, don't risk making your movies rated R. No pun intended. To sum this movie up overall, it's safe to say it's a hell of a lot better than At World's End. In fact, I'd rank it between Black Pearl and Dead Man's Chest, but it's far from perfect as well, so I'm not exactly praising it or overcrediting it. The Curse of the Black Pearl is still the best, and I don't think the 2 future installments will ever top it either. Yes, you heard me correctly, Disney's planning 2 more sequels to Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's just hope that they can get the job done well, and not proceed in making the franchise as just a cash cow. But nevertheless, I find Non-Stranger Tides decent at best. To the overall rating, 3.5 stars.